So we've got a few moves to talk about in this video. We got a couple trades, a couple free agency signings, lots of big things to go over. Andrew Miller going to the Cardinals. We got Jurickson Profar, part of a 3-team trade, sending him to Oakland. And the big one of today's video, which I think was kind of been rumored for a while, but also surprised some people. Yasiel Puig, Alex Wood, Matt Kemp headed to the Cincinnati Reds for Homer Bailey and some prospects. But before we do get going over all the analysis and reaction to these moves, make sure you guys do leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it and you want to support the channel. That's the best way to help me out, as well as subscribing. If you're new here and you're not subscribed, make sure to click that sub button so that you don't miss out on any of the content, because I'm bringing you MLB news all the time. And make sure to get in that comment section down below. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Do you like the trade? Do you dislike it? What are your thoughts and feelings? Let me know in the comment section. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. I'm always talking about baseball there, so feel free to reply. And yeah, let's get going into this video. And I guess it's Friday too, so I might as well mention the merch one more time. If you want to buy some merch, it's underneath the video in the description. Click the link. Got some stuff there. I know Friday's payday, so I think it's a good time to remind you. Now, enough plugging. Let's talk about the moves that happened in baseball. First one we're going to talk about is Andrew Miller going to the St. Louis Cardinals on a 2-year, $24 million deal with a 3rd-year option, which I believe pays him another $12.5 million. All right, so I was a little off. It was 2 years, $25 million, but you still get the gist. I was right about the option as well for the 3rd year. But I think that's a great signing for the St. Louis Cardinals. Obviously, Andrew Miller is one of the highly coveted relievers that are left on the market, especially left-handed. It's pretty much him and Zach Britton that lead the top of the free agent class for left-handed pitchers. Andrew Miller did not have a great season last year, was battling injuries, and then when he was on the field, he just wasn't very consistent with his performances. So, you know, on that sense, you're getting him probably on a cheaper than you normally would have, because he didn't perform last year and, of course, wasn't healthy. But if you can get Andrew Miller, who was like Andrew Miller in the playoffs, who was like Andrew Miller for the Yankees, who like Andrew Miller when he's healthy and good, man, that is one of the more dominant relievers in all of baseball. He is so difficult to hit when he is on. He's just been off the field, been not so healthy, been battling injuries, and then when he comes back, he might have rushed back and he wasn't ready to go. His numbers just weren't good the last year. And in that Cardinals bullpen, which struggled a bit last year, they went through Bud Norris, they had Jordan Hicks, who looks like he's going to be a nice little pitcher, they had John Brebbia, who showed a little bit, but they haven't really had a ton of consistency out of that bullpen. So adding a guy like Andrew Miller, especially left-handed, because Brett Cecil has been a complete failure for them out in the bullpen. He's been terrible for the Cardinals. They actually now have a legitimate left-hander that they can bring out, especially in tough situations, and he can pitch 1, maybe 2 innings if you need it. He can close. He can do it all. He's a beast on the mound, Andrew Miller. You gotta be happy with the signing if you're a Cardinals fan. Like I said, in 2018, not a great year for him. 4.24 ERA, only made 37 appearances, and his whip really wasn't great at 1.382, so you could tell he was struggling. He wasn't feeling great on the mound. But then you go to 2017. In 2017, a 1.44 ERA in 57 games appeared in. He had a .830 whip. I mean, that's just filthy on its own. 2016, he had a 1.45 ERA in 70 games. His whip that season was a .686. I mean, like, it's obvious. It's very clear. And then, of course, with the Yankees, 2.04. Year before that, Boston and Baltimore, 2.02. Year before that, 2.64. And that's ever since he's really become a reliever full-time, he's kind of turned it around. So if you can get the Andrew Miller that goes out there and is healthy and is pitching well, he's going to be one of the best relievers in all of baseball, let alone left-handed. I mean, that just adds even more value. He's just so good. So good. It's just, hopefully he stays healthy for the Cardinals. And if he does, the Cardinals are putting themselves in a really good spot right now where they might be better than the Cubs. Still think they need maybe one more starting pitcher, but the Cardinals are in a really good spot to overtake the Cubs here because they haven't really done much this offseason. The Brewers obviously are a very good team, and if they get another pitcher, they can just be even better. Cubs need to go out and make some moves, and they need to make some moves quickly because the Cardinals are catching up, the Brewers are only going to be getting better, and the Cubs could be dropping to the 3rd place team there. I mean, they got to make some moves. What are they waiting for? That Jason Hayward contract is really killing them because Bryce Harper would have been perfect this year for them. But that Hayward, $184 million or whatever it is just killing them. Burning a hole in their pockets right now. It's unfortunate. Second trade we are going to talk about is the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds making a big trade. The Dodgers are sending Yasiel Puig, Matt Kemp, and Alex Wood to the Cincinnati Reds, and I believe Farmer as well, but that's not really a main part of it. They'll be sending them to the Reds, and then the Cincinnati Reds will be trading Homer Bailey, their number 7 prospect Jeter Downs, and I believe he was in their top 20, Josiah Gray, who's a right-handed pitcher, all to Los Angeles. So let's start off by talking about this trade from the Reds' perspective. You got Homer Bailey's terrible contract off the books. He's gone. You don't have to worry about Homer Bailey anymore. That's a huge plus. Yes, you're losing Jeter Downs, who you guys like as a middle infield prospect, and you're losing Josiah Gray, but you're getting Matt Kemp, Alex Wood, and Yasiel Puig. All their contracts expire next year, so they're all going to be off the books. If you somehow can keep Yasiel Puig next year, which I don't think is going to be their move. I don't think he's their guy for the future. He's going to get some pretty decent money next offseason, but Yasiel Puig is going to be effective this year. Matt Kemp is going to rake in that ballpark. Everybody knows it's a hitter's park, and Matt Kemp will be doing just fine out there. Then you get Alex Wood, who's going to basically be your best starting pitcher right now in that rotation. They got Roark and him now, which adds a lot to that pitching staff, which has been weak in the past. The Reds are still the 5th best team in the National League Central. I don't think that there's any denying that. But this is a nice little move for the Reds here. They get Homer Bailey's contract away. They're going to lose all this money from Kemp, Wood, and Puig next year because they're going to be expired free agents. And they're going to be a little bit more competitive this year. So as Reds fans, I think you could be pretty excited. Yes, you give up some prospects. You tend to not like to do that to, get guys that are going to help you win now when you're not a win now team. But the Reds next year will be a little bit further along their rebuild. They can maybe go out and spend some money on quality free agents because they lost all this off the books. It makes sense from the Reds. I think it's a good trade for them. Now, when we're talking about the Dodgers, I've been seeing people on Twitter going crazy like, what are the Dodgers doing? They're getting fleeced. They're getting scammed. How did they think this is a fair trade? Have they seen Homer Bailey's numbers the last few years? He has like a 6 ERA every year. Well, you got to think about it from a financial standpoint here. Yes, they take on Homer Bailey's contract. I think he's owed like $25 million over the next 2 years. They're going to be releasing him, and only $17 million of that is going to count against the luxury tax. So yes, they're eating the Homer Bailey contract currently, but it actually frees up more money for them in the luxury tax and makes it easier for them to give out a big deal to Bryce Harper. Now, Bryce Harper will not be receiving a 10-year deal from the Los Angeles Dodgers. The rumor seems to be about 5 years, and they're going to push it up into the mid-30s for the yearly annual value. I think yearly annual is a little redundant, but go with it. But this allows them to have more money to go spend on Bryce Harper. They obviously are going to need an outfielder now, having just lost 2 guys. This allows for guys like Julio Urias to step up, go into the rotation as they expected. Now Alex Wood's not really clogging them up. I think that the Dodgers are probably going to have to be the favorites to go get Bryce Harper now. Yes, Bryce Harper wants that huge 10-year, $350 million contract. But the Dodgers give him 5-year, make him the highest annually paid player in MLB baseball, make him happy that way, and then 5 years from now, Bryce Harper can get another payday because he'll only be 31 years old, and he'll still be a beast, I'm sure of it. So there's lots of different ways the Dodgers can go. I think this is a great trade for them. Yes, you're losing Kemp, and you're losing Puig, and you're losing Alex Wood. Those are all guys that have helped your team win in the past few seasons. They were pretty good players as well. But if that means you can get Bryce Harper, that's huge. That's a big difference in that team if they can get Bryce Harper. And I think that's what their plan is. I think we're going to see Bryce Harper playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2019. Where do you think Bryce Harper goes? Let me know in the comment section down below. It might be featured in a video. So if you want to be featured in a future video, comment where Bryce Harper goes in the comment section. And then there was a third trade today between the Tampa Bay Rays, Texas Rangers, and Oakland A's. The Oakland A's getting the headline player in this trade being Jurickson Profar, former top prospect in all of baseball. He was a stud. He was highly touted. Hasn't lived up to the expectations that were given to him when he was younger. But last year showed a little bit of what could be left. He had 250, 20 home runs, 77 RBIs, 35 doubles, 6 triples. So he did have over 60 extra base hits in 140 games last year. Can play a ton of different positions, pretty much every position except catcher. So for Oakland, it's a nice little player. He is a free agent in the upcoming offseason, so he's pretty cheap right now, still on his rookie arbitration contracts. So good little get there for Oakland. Texas is going to get Brock Burke, Eli White, Kyle Bird, Yoel Espinal, and international pool money. And then Tampa Bay is going to be getting the 38th pick in the 2019 draft, Emilio Pagan and Raleigh Lacey. Texas is getting some more young players to help with their rebuild. You understand that. International pool money also helping with rebuild so they can get international prospects. Good move by Texas. Jurickson Profar was going to be a free agent next year, and again, doesn't seem like he's a part of that future rebuilding for them, so we understand why they make the move. Tampa Bay gets a draft pick 38th. That's basically first round in MLB terms. Emilio Pagan, not too bad, and Raleigh Lacey, who is a prospect as well. But like I said, the main thing to be talking about here is Jurickson Profar. Looks like he could be the second baseman for the Oakland A's of the future. He's going to cost less than Jarrett Lowry would have, and projected-wise, they seem to be doing the same production value for what's going to be projected in 2019. So there was a lot of trades happening in Major League Baseball today. We got the Puig one, we got the Profar one, we got Andrew Miller signing with the St. Louis Cardinals. Which move do you think was the best? Which move did you like? Which move did you hate? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. Let's have a conversation. Remember, you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. We're talking about baseball there all the time. Leave a like on this video if you want to help support the channel. That's the best way to show your support, as well as the view and comment. And subscribe if you are new and you like what you see. You don't want to miss out. You want to know all the baseball. Keep in the loop. This is the place to be. And of course, it's Friday. One last plug for merch. If you got your paycheck today, you can go get some merch. So buy my shirts and hoodie sweatshirts and stuff. Links in the description. That's the end of today's video. YouTube recommends that you watch this one right here, as well as this my video from yesterday. So click through those if you have not seen either of them. And that's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.